I think we all. But we checked the cards when they came in.
See, I was a member of the 12th district. So on account of illness, I came here for a rest. And I took a private duty case and I was on the home in the home for 9 straight months. And I had no contact with anyone. And I tried in vain to get in touch with someone, but having to work from 8 to 4 in the afternoon and getting home very tired was a very hard case. I really haven't had any opportunity to become a member.
Maybe you can come in the next 2 months.
But it's a very sweet thing that nurses have to be so intelligent to put a person out. Because if a person is not, I know that, but can't you,
We can't.
no one that's not a member would vote.
Well,
Well, I tell you the truth about it, I certainly don't think it's nice. Carolyn, we still have some non-members in here. Did you not go?
Well, when I remember seeing this package, would you have thought non-members out?
I don't know who's the mom.
occupational health. Private duty.
All you people back in the employee there, are you all private duty, are you staying in private duty? Please those who are not private duty, well, hold your hand. Hold your hand.
Public health. We have registered administrators, 40, EACC, 34, general duty, 11, occupational health, 3, private duty, 81, public health, 65.
At this time, I would like to read the purpose of the meeting for your information. I read the notice of the special meeting that was announced in the meeting, and which all of you received copies. Pursuant to appropriate request made under the provisions of Article 13, Section 3 of the bylaws, a special meeting of the association is hereby called, the same to be held on Thursday, April 29, 1965, at 4:30 p.m. in the auditorium of St. Joseph's Church. Here is the purpose of the meeting. The business to be transacted at said meeting shall be that of re-examination and reconsideration of the action taken at the March 11, 1965 regular meeting in adopting certain provisions of the bylaws, together with such matters as may relate directly thereto, and the taking of such further action, if any, as may be deemed necessary and proper in connection therewith. This is the purpose of the call meeting. We will try to stay in line and not wander away from the purpose, because we are not supposed to discuss anything at such a call meeting except the purpose of our meeting.
my opinion, you can, if you call it special meeting for any purpose. Specify it in other words.
I would like to know why we should rescind the action which was taken on March 11th when we had a full quorum of membership present. Why there should be a reason to rescind the action taken. There was a quorum present at the March 11th.
All right, by way of background, and in my suggestion, there was published in this most recent issue of the district media all of the correspondence and data which has taken place, which I know about the existence of, since the March 11th meeting. And, of course, I could, with Mrs. Garland's permission and with your permission, go through that correspondence step by step. But we published it for the information and background material for all the membership prior to this meeting, so as to try to shorten the time of the meeting. And of course, since the alleged legality, let me just put it this way, since the alleged legality of the action taken by the membership of the association at that meeting has been brought into question, without passing on that question one way or the other, irrespective of the contentions of some in that regard, it was felt by those who asked that this special meeting be called that it be resubmitted to the membership for such action as they might see fit to take, with all the circumstances and with due and proper notice with everybody and with all the information before.
Madam Chairman, I would like to remind the individual privacy here, first time in 25 years, that anything contrary has been done to give you an equal voice in this district. We've heard over and over and over again that the individual nurse didn't get a fair voice in this association.
Mr. Clement, am I to understand that, that we can, entertain such a motion as, Ms. Sturts made, as long as we had a complete two-thirds majority last time? Will you,
Yes, ma'am, I say without being called upon, and I haven't been to, and I won't, in the interest of time and in the interest of an abundance of caution and an abundance of fairness, in my opinion. The rule that, in my opinion, the action taken at the March 11th meeting was either legal or illegal. But in view of the fact that a certain group within the association has made that contention, then as I say, we felt, well, I certainly advise that out of abundance of caution it should be resubmitted with all the information before all the membership of the group and with due and proper notice as to what was going to be done. So that with those facts before you, if you see fit to rescind the action taken in March, you are at liberty to do so. That's what this meeting has been called for. If you don't see any reason to rescind it, then your vote would indicate that too.
I feel that we have really, in the past month, relative to our organization, we've seen democracy in action. I really do. We have had a right, we've been challenged, and we come back with another right. I am speaking in opposition to rescinding, but in a democracy, you do have a right to challenge. And having been challenged, then I think we must now again assemble, take action for or against. And I'm speaking in opposition.
This young lady right up here. Yes, ma'am.
No, Shelley.
Yes.
There's Robert Rude. 167, 156, page 4. And move a motion. It can be made only, that is to be considered on the day the vote to be used, so to speak. Or in a protracted meeting, that may be January vote was low. No motion was made to reconsider. That is on this vote state. Therefore, it was a dead matter. It was brought up at the March meeting, the vote was counted. But I maintain that it should not have been brought up at the March meeting until proper reconsideration, until the matter had been gone over. And if the members still wish to have it presented, they could do so as they had the original presented in January. It would then have to go through the executive vote of the 5th District, to the bylaws committee of the state, and I believe the state going to referendum also to approve. Before it could be again presented to the 5th District, and of course that was not observed. We do not have rules in our 5th District that cover what Robert has to say on that matter. I feel that it is entirely out of order to have that whole thing at the March meeting.
Madam Chairman, since we are to vote on whether the action of the previous meeting is to be rescinded, I think that we are entitled to know the facts on why we are asking for that motion to be rescinded. And I give them 2 times. Can't sit it down, is that what you say?
No, ma'am.
So I wanted, Mr. McClain wanted to do this, we had something to do with it.
Well, if he would, well, thank you very much. Appreciate it. Now, we're not mad with anybody, but we do want right done, and I don't believe any person in this auditorium would want to be a party to something that is not right. And according to your manual, which I have here in my hand, and many have seen and read, there's a statement in there, in the organizational plan, that the highest authority in this organization is the certificate of corporation and certificate, it's the highest authority is the laws of the state. Next is certificate of corporation and bylaws of the GSNA. And then, follows that, the executive board is charged with the authority of management. And I think that's the reason we are back here today, is because we did not respect the bylaws and went ahead and voted on a matter which was entirely out of order at the March meeting. And that is according to your manual, which was voted by this association, which plainly states that the bylaws is the highest authority in an organization. The voting body present at any organization is not the highest authority. The highest authority is the bylaws stated right in your manual. Organizational plan. And it says the bylaws of this organization is the highest authority. Then we have the right and business to respect the bylaws at March the 11th meeting. I haven't said a thing about the board. I haven't said the first thing about the board. I mentioned the highest authority according to your manual, and I can write the manual. The bylaws of an organization is a contract between the member and the organization, and this contract protects the rights of all members. The bylaws of the 5th District, Georgia State Nurses Association prescribe the procedure for the amendments as follows. Section 1, the bylaws may be adopted, amended, or repealed at any annual meeting or regular meeting by a 2/3 vote of members present, provided a 2-week notice has been given. These bylaws may be amended at any annual meeting by a unanimous vote without previous notice. 6 copies of all proposed bylaws shall be sent to the Georgia State Nurses Association headquarters for the Georgia State Nurses Association Committee on Bylaws to approve before the same are presented to this association for adoption. And when approved by the state committee and the Georgia State Nurses Association Executive Board, shall then be presented to this association. If adopted without change, they shall then be printed. If any change is made, the revision shall again be sent to the Georgia State Nurses Association Committee on Bylaws for further approval. After completed and printed, 2 copies shall be sent to the Executive Secretary of the Georgia State Nurses Association. And Article 15, Section 11, the Committee on Bylaws shall be composed of at least 3 members. This committee shall receive all proposed amendments to the bylaws of this association. It shall be responsible for submitting 6 copies of all proposed revisions to and securing the opinion of the Committee on Bylaws of the Georgia State Nurses Association with regard to same, and shall propose amendments for action to the voting body at the annual meeting in accordance with these bylaws. After the review of such amendments or revisions by the Board of Directors of this association, it shall be responsible for securing an opinion from the Georgia State Nurses Association Committee on Bylaws with regard to same, and shall recommend such action therein to the Board of Directors of this association. Proposed amendments shall be submitted for action to the voting body of this association in accordance with the provisions for the amendments of these bylaws.
Madam Chairman, since this is a report of the parliamentarian for the Georgia State Nurses Association, I object to it being read.
Well, Madam Chairman, may I object to the constant objection? Whoever this lady is. We're going to hear. Not very much. While it is true that the duly assembled members may override an action of the Board of Directors, they may not override authority granted to the Board of Directors by the bylaws without amending the bylaws. For example, Article 15, Section 11 specifically states that the committee shall report its findings to the Board of Directors for approval. This constitutes an authority granted by the Board of Directors by the bylaws. In view of the fact that proposed amendments were legally voted upon and rejected January the 14th, 1965, the matter of again bringing the bylaws to vote at a subsequent meeting should have been referred to the Committee on Bylaws and brought by the committee to the Board of Directors for approval. A motion appearing in the statement of facts shows that the Board of Directors did not
here, do all this business by mail and proper legal matters, have it count hands like this.
I second the motion.
This is a very irregular way to do this thing that's important. Now, we have a lot of trouble, we have down here, one minute, come down here to reorganize our elections. Are they gonna pay the dues?
Are you referring to Ms. Connolly's motion?
No, Ms. Wright's motion came before. We have a motion on the floor, we're gonna get it written and seconded, and then we'll have discussion. We're gonna have discussion after we get this motion. I'd like to ask a question. As soon as we get this question.
Before you ever had the motion up, I asked you this. And you wouldn't recognize my name. Is it proper to interrupt the speaker to change the time that I'm speaking or not? Ms. Hudson was speaking and had permission and had the floor. Is it customary and proper to interrupt her? To change the time? Of course not.
We'll finish that too.
That's good. While it is true that the duty of sample members may override an action of the Board of Directors, they may not override authority granted to the Board of Directors by the bylaws without amending the bylaws. For example, Article 15, Section 11 specifically states that the committee shall report its findings to the Board of Directors for approval. This constitutes an authority granted to the Board of Directors by the bylaws. In view of the fact that the proposed amendments were legally voted upon and rejected on January the 14th, 1965, the matter of again bringing the bylaws for vote at a subsequent meeting should have been referred to the Committee on Bylaws and brought by the committee to the Board of Directors for approval. That's according to the bylaws. A motion appearing in the statement of facts shows that the Board of Directors did not recommend that the bylaws be brought back to the assembly. Relative to the notice to vote again on the bylaws in March 1965, we failed to find in the bylaws any authority for anyone to place such notice upon the approval, except upon the approval of the Board of Directors. If this notice was published before the Board of Directors met, then the notice was published illegally. And then the official notice you're familiar with. Since the notice did not spell out that old Article 8, Section 1, and old Article 14, Section 10 would be presented for amendment, the notice was not sufficiently descriptive. And you know what those two sections were, you're familiar with them, and I will read them this time. They do have to do with the composition of the advisory committee. Then further appeared in the April district meter in the statement of facts the following. March the 11th, at the regular meeting of the membership, a motion was adopted that the membership exercise its right to consider and vote on the bylaw amendments, which it had ample time for complete study. This procedure
was based on the principle that the decision of the total membership takes precedence over the decision of any specific group within the association. This would be valid only if the total membership, which means every member of the association was present and voted. The minutes that is printed in the same issue shows that the membership was to be 700 plus, and that only 137 members were present at March 11th meeting. Further, we must point out that in Article 20, Section 1, quote, the bylaws may be adopted, amended, or repealed was an adequate notice. I came to the meeting prepared to vote. At the January meeting, we voted on the bylaws as a whole, and that was rejected. In the March meeting, we voted to consider it individually, each article. And I came prepared to vote, and from my standpoint, it was adequate notice. I felt satisfied.
As a point of information, would our parliamentarian please explain to those who have not been here why we voted twice on the exact same bylaws in consecutive meetings?
Let me see if I can answer that question for you. At the January meeting, after full publication on 2 or 3 different occasions that I recall, and after there was circulated among the membership present at that meeting a format showing the old bylaws and the proposed changes which were being voted upon. There was a motion made to be voted on separately, article by article, which motion failed according to my recollection. Then there was a motion made that they be voted on as a whole, which passed. And the proposed revision, when voted on as a whole, failed of passage, failed to obtain the 2/3 vote required for passage. There were among the proposed changes certain areas of conformity, as I understand it, which needed to be incorporated into the district bylaws in order to conform to the rules and regulations laid down by the American Nurses Association, and in some respects, I think, with GNSA. So those had to be resubmitted, and I gave Ms. Gall the opinion that since, according to my opinion, within the discretion of the chair, they could be submitted separately. And since she was going to have to resubmit these that were being required by the ANA, that there would be no reason why the other requirements that Ms. Hudson, in her opinion, referred to having already been complied with, could not also be completed as long as they were voted on separately at that time. That was the reason that the question of the others, which were not within the areas of conformity, came up.
I'd like a question of legal counsel. Since these bylaws were brought to the assembly in January, they were legally voted upon by around 200 members, and they were rejected. We had bylaws that we felt were adequate, and one particular one that pertains to private duty section that we were opposed to. Private duty section did not recommend to the bylaws committee any changes in our bylaws, and I don't know who recommended that. In fact, I'd like to know. And the bylaws committee, we all. I beg your pardon. We did not send it. Voted to retain our present bylaws. We don't like this advisory committee that's just a police, and we don't feel that other sections have any right to force us upon us. And that is, I think, the whole issue of this meeting. The other of the areas of conformity, I don't think anyone would disagree. In fact, we know we have to comply with ANA and GSNA bylaws. So automatically we incorporate those because we are a constituent unit. And I feel like that this should go back to the bylaws committee to be studied further. And as I was at that board meeting on March the
maybe misunderstood, but in the interest of shortening this meeting as much as we possibly can, I agree with the lady who said we could stay here and hassle over these fine points of technicality all night. You took action at the January meeting. You also took action at the March meeting. At the March meeting, you took action in adopting some proposed revisions to these bylaws. Since that time, there have been charges and counter-charges and allegations and counter-allegations, have been letters, have been conferences with me and with others, all attacking, I would say, or bringing into question the legality of that action. Now, as I say, I have not been called upon and will not, in the interest of good feeling throughout, and by reason of the fact that I think that everybody is acting honestly and in good faith. I have not, and I don't intend to rule as to whether I think that action was legal or illegal unless I have to. Well, because we are getting at it through the process that someone has referred to as being the democratic one, of putting the facts before this body. Now, the whole crux of all the charges and allegations and all of the complaints that have come to me is that a certain group of the membership did not consider the notice as to the March meeting sufficient, didn't interpret it as being a notice that all these bylaws were going to be resubmitted, and therefore did not have their day in court or their opportunity to vote. There was a request for a special meeting of the Executive Board in that connection, and it was my opinion that the Executive Board itself could not act to rescind the action of the general membership, so that we could maybe obviate the necessity of a special meeting of the board by resubmitting it to the general membership without any question as to notice, without any question as to what was going to be done. And it's simply being put to you now whether you want the action taken at the March meeting to stand or not. A vote for this motion would not be a vote declaring or indicative of the fact that the action of the meeting in March was illegal or legal. It would be merely what
I would like your opinion, if you think that notice was legal, legitimately, was sufficient.
Well, let me say this. I would have to rule that it was sufficient notice. Let me say this at the outset, though. I think, and I have made this statement to several of the groups who have visited my office and while I was in session at the Capitol in January and February, I would be the first to concede that it would be subject to just two different interpretations. And we felt in order to be abundantly fair, since it was in that category, this was the best way to do it. Now, I'll be the first also to say that I would agree that your entire set of bylaws need to be revised in a substantial degree, because there are some areas of cloudiness, and this is one of them. It doesn't say who has the power. It does say that the board can instruct the president, I believe, or do it on its own to place notices in the meter with reference to bylaw changes. It doesn't exclude anybody else from doing it. The bylaws don't say in what form the notice must be given, whether you can just give a simple notice that there's going to be some bylaw revisions considered, or whether they have to be spelled out, or whether they have to be published more than once, and all that sort of thing. Those details are not covered in your present bylaws, but those are not the things we are here for today. I think that irrespective of your actions, there you might want to give some consideration to having the bylaws committee give particular attention to those articles in the future, which are to some extent vague and indefinite, and which don't lay the guidelines sufficiently definite for anybody to really follow.
Question has been called.
Referring to the board, the notice had no right to be published until the board met it was put out before the board met.
Madam Chairman, I move that this whole question be referred. The motion to refer according to parliamentary procedure, I believe, takes precedent of the main motion.
The floor is open for direct questions to the parliamentary, not make motions.
Well, I thought you could make the motion to refer. And this motion came to mind, Madam President,
No, but the motion's been called first. If you want to direct the question to the parliamentary.
well, he brought up the subject that the bylaws needed to be revised. And I felt that if we offered a motion to refer this to the bylaw committee for that.
Question's been called. And you can direct the question to the parliamentary.
No, I'd like to know if the parliamentarian considers the report discussed and read as being valid concerning bylaws. And in her report, she said that nothing could be changed at a call meeting. Therefore, even this meeting it would be valid.
No, I hate to disagree with anybody, but everybody entitled their own opinion, and I would disagree that with several of the rulings. I hadn't had a chance to study this opinion before I got here, before I heard it read. And I haven't read it thoroughly and didn't listen to it carefully enough, I'm afraid, but I didn't get a copy of it until this husband was about halfway through. But I say that a vote whether or not to rescind your action taken in January is perfectly in order for a call meeting. The notice hasn't been given in compliance with the bylaws and the purpose stated, and we're here only to consider that one purpose and nothing else.
Do you understand the motion? We're ready to vote on the motion.
Was it legal for you to send out the notices before the board meeting? Sorry, that question.
And to say again that the bylaws don't say who can put the notice in, and I might call your attention to the fact that the notice has been running for some week to 10 days prior to the March 9th board meeting, and no question as to the sufficiency of the notice was raised at that meeting according to the minutes that I have seen.
It was right.
I move that all business transacted at the March 11, 1965 meeting be rescinded.
12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21.
Right there.
There's two here that haven't been counted. This one sat down on the count of 80 and this one hasn't been counted.
All right, those in favor of
the nurses that belong to the other organizations, the public health, and all the other organizations is to dictate and or what our policies of the nurses official register should do. Because we do not interfere with the individual, the hospital nurses, the administrators, or anything.
The